Welcome back, squad. It's the Gabe Davis tier video. I'm excited. Let's go. Welcome back, squad. Like I said, the Gabe Davis tier video, Mr. Inconsistent 2025. So a little bit of backstory. Last year, I started the Gabe Davis tier. Basically, it starts with a player that I think will just not be consistent, will not be good in fantasy, or if they'll be good, they won't be consistently good. It's going to be sporadic, hard to predict, and you're going to be very frustrated with them. Last year, we picked the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room as a whole, and I think that was a pretty good pick considering the top guy was in the wide receiver like 43 or something like that. So I feel good about that last year. Going forward, there were a few options. It was definitely tougher this year, but there were a few options I looked at, and I'll give you them before I give you the actual Mr. Gabe Davis. So I looked at Anthony Richardson, but I don't know that he's going to start or play. So I want to give someone who you would realistically draft and that you would realistically be looking at starting on a given week. Mark Andrews was tempting, but then I went back and looked at his numbers, and they were better than I remember them being. The targets were bad, but the points were actually pretty decent. So he was tempting for sure, but I'm not going with Mark Andrews either. But I am going to pick this man. He plays for the Chiefs. He had a fine year last year, but I'm going to talk about more why I picked him. This year's Gabe Davis tier, Mr. Inconsistent, is Xavier Worthy. So this one's a little bit interesting. He's very fast. He plays on the Chiefs, who have Pat Mahomes throwing the ball. Like, they're a good team. And part of me didn't want to pick him because of that, but then I dove into the numbers more and I feel better about it. So Worthy averaged 5.8 targets a game last season, which is not great considering he's a wideout. He had a 66% snap share last season, so he's on the field 66% of the time on average. Also not great. That puts him with like Ricky Pearsall and Jalen Coker, but also like Nico Collins was in there, which is wild to me. But I think the biggest reason that I have him so inconsistent is Rashee Rice is coming back. Rashee got hurt in the middle of last season pretty early on, and I expected Worthy to step up more, and he did step up, but not as much as you'd want him to. Worthy averaged 11 fantasy points a game last season, and he's going around wide receiver 23 currently. He had 6 games above 15 fantasy points, which is not bad, which is decent. He had 7 games below 10 fantasy points. So, right, that's that inconsistency piece where it's just scary. But back to Rashee Rice, he averaged 7.3 targets a game last season, and that was in 3 games. He had a game with 9 targets, 6 targets, and 14 targets. Then he got hurt and he didn't play again. So week 4 on was really Worthy's chance to elevate himself and to show that he can be super good in this offense. And I'm not saying he's bad even as a player, but fantasy-wise, he's precarious. And during that stretch, he had 5 games with 8 targets or more, which is decent, which is pretty good. But he also had 5 games with under 8 targets during that stretch. And he was a rookie, and this is early on, so there is some context there. But those first 3 games where Rashee Rice was healthy, he had 3 targets, 4 targets, and 4 targets. And I feel that confliction with him because I think he will be good at times. He will have those games with 10 targets when he gets 20 points, when he's fun and rushing fast like a quick boy and he scores all the points. He will do that. I do believe he will do that. I also believe he's going to have games with 4 targets and 2 catches, right? And so with Worthy, it's hard for me to predict. And in fantasy as a whole, you don't want lack of predictability. That makes it hard to draft and trust someone. And he's going at wide receiver 23 in that range, which scares me a little too much. So like in that range, right above him is DJ Moore, DK Metcalf, Jameson Williams, Devontae Smith, Cortland Sutton, George Pickens. I would take all those guys over Xavier Worthy. And Pickens is currently at wide receiver 28. I would take Pickens over him most every time. Not really until you reach like Travis Hunter, Zay Flowers. Then I would consider it more. But Travis Hunter's wide receiver 29 right now. So that's kind of my gripe with Worthy. It's not him as a player. It's not anything he's doing wrong. His situation, Rashee Rice is coming back. I think they drafted like a very late round wide receiver as well, just because that's what they do. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Gabe Davis tier, Mr. Inconsistent 2025. Let me know what you think. Maybe you have someone else in mind. Of course, it's always our big boy, Gabe Davis, but you know, no one's really drafting him. Where's he going this year? Gabe Davis is not in the top 168 wide receivers currently. Anyway, if you want to take Gabe Davis, he's free now. Let me know what you think. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out.